you know, a plethora of decks, whereas the Ascendancy is very, very niche.
Right. You know,
So.
I think I actually want Death Frenzy here.
You can take the Death Frenzy? Okay.
I don't know. I mean, I'm not... I think I like Death Frenzy just one notch below where most people do, but not much. Like, I really like it. I think it's really powerful. But I think it just pushes me in a direction that I want to go, which is I've been wanting to just slow things down. I just keep playing these, like... Well, actually, I need to talk to you about this. Why don't we just transition into our main discussion, which is just me asking you a bunch of questions. But,
sure.
But did you watch Gerard Fabiano's draft in the top 8 of the last GP?
I saw a bit of it, yes, and he made some pretty crazy picks.
I need your thoughts on this because it has been so interesting hearing everybody's thoughts on how it went. What was going through your head when he was drafting?
I mean, some of the picks I agreed with. Some of them were like, that's like the last card I would have picked, you know. And he went focused. I will give him that. It was very, very focused, and I mean, I guess it worked out.
It did work out.
Okay. Well, granted, he did open some nice ones for himself, right?
He did.
Sagumalar, etc.
Yeah, Dig Through Time was a pretty good one.
Yeah, exactly. So, I don't know how well it would have done without getting a little bit lucky, but hey, if you're signaling that hard and nobody else wants them,
I mean, did you?
Well.
So he.
Good. Let's go.
Let's see. So he was drafting with his friend on Magic Online a bunch, and his friend kind of had this idea, and the idea was,
let me see.
Cons is slow, and Cons is all about card advantage, just raw numbers, right?
Keep moving.
And so anything that he took, he wanted it to be either plus cards for him or minus cards for his opponent, and that's why he valued Rakshas's Secret so highly. I mean, did you see he picked his second? I mean, I was in the booth for that, and I'm just like, what?
Jaw was on the floor. He couldn't speak.
I couldn't talk. I just couldn't believe it. Like, I thought he was trolling us at first. Because he pulled it to the front as if he had opened, like, a Wingmate rock or something. I'm just like...
And you guys like, no, he's just down.
Yeah, he's just... And then he just, like, windmilled it and then started looking through the rest of the pack. Oh, my God. But anyway, I don't know if you know this, but... So, day 2 of the GP. So he did draft. He needed to win all 6 of his rounds to make the top 8.
Okay.
He did. In fact, I think he won 13 in a row total or something. But so he comes in for day 2 in the morning, and all he's thinking about is his deck. This one that we saw him draft. So he drafts it. This is kind of like the no red deck. The one in the finals was actually just straight Sultai, but like his general approach is just ditching red and playing the rest, which is something I've been doing for a long time in the format, but he's much more extreme on it. So he drafts a deck and he 3-0s, and he sits down for his next draft, and he needs to 3-0 it to make top 8. No hesitation whatsoever. Drafts the exact same deck, 3-0s, makes it to the top 8. We put a camera on him, and he's just like, play one way.
Run it back.
Drafts the deck again, and 3-0s. He 9-0'd the drafts at the GP. And I mean, that last draft was insane. Ben Stark was in that pot. I mean, that was a stacked pool.
I'm pretty sure Ben Stark said it was one of the best decks that he had drafted too.
I mean, I don't know if you got a chance to watch that.
I did not watch his.
Well, yeah, it's for lack of a better term, it's draft porn. I mean, it was insane.
Okay.
Like, it was one of those ones where, you're watching and you're like, okay, well, he can hem and haw, like he's just deciding between kind of what shard to go into, and then he kind of settles into Black-White Warriors in pack 1 and gets hooked up with white cards really early. Considers going into Jeskai, but then is like, okay, black cards are here, and then the pack kind of dies on him. He comes away with a perfectly fine pack, nothing wrong with it, but it was one of those ones where it was like he was getting, like Enoch Tracker or Enoch Bonkin 5th or something like that,
sure,
and
yeah.
like it was like, okay, well, we're in business, and then it kind of faded a bit. And then in the second pack, he got hooked up decently in black. And then in the third pack, it was like, oh my God. Like, he just had everything. He got like, I think, God, I don't want to misremember, but it was something like a 4th pick Sorin. And he's black-white. He also
pick
had,
Soren?
yeah, he also got High Sentinels of Erishin.
Oh, God.
Yeah, it was just stupid. And his deck was just off the charts. It was absolutely, like, so we watched his draft first when we were at the GP, and I was like,
Until help arrives.
can we just call this? Like, do we have to watch the top 8? Because nobody's beating Ben with this. Like,
And then you probably start watching Gerard's second pick Rakshasas, and you're like,
Yes.
okay, let's go on to the next.
and I'm just like, what happened here, right? Like, because I'm actually a big fan of Gerard. Like, I love that he's quirky and brings his own style to stuff. And, you know, he did maybe not this crazy, but he kind of went his own way in the GP. He won in Montreal as well.
Yep.
And it was just, you know, like, it wasn't crazy stuff, but it was like, no, you know, like, this is kind of interesting drafts and picks that I think go against convention or whatever. And then he wins that. And then
like to
this
talk about
one,
Montreal, just to note.
sorry. Oh, God. I just remembered that was Montreal. Boo. But anyway, and yeah, and so he wins that, and then this time he's just completely off the beaten path, just like, wow, and he wins that. Now, look, he did play Ben in the semis, and Ben had horrific draws, like really bad.
Yeah.
And you know, that's what in my mind, that's what it takes, because I don't think that matchup is good for Gerard in any way, shape, or form.
I agree. Given on what you said that he had.
Come with us.
Yeah, I mean, he ran 2 Rakshasas Secret, Treasure
may as well
Cruise,
make yourself-
Dig Through Time. Those are the card draw cards or whatever that I can think of off the top of my head. I mean, when your opponent's playing Black White Warriors, like, all of those cards are just dead. You know, you just don't want any of them. Like, maybe late in the game, but if you've gotten late in the game, any big card works fine at that point.
Even
you know?
just a 5/5, right?
Yeah, just a random 5/5 would be great. And you know, so to me it was like, wow. I mean, Ben is going to just absolutely run him over. It shouldn't even be close. But I mean, it's still Magic, right? And obviously, like, when I'm in the booth, I like to build it up a little more. But I mean, of course, like, we can't call this tournament. Like, Ben could easily just get mana screwed twice and lose. And Gerard, I mean, he was onto something, right? He knew his deck. He knew what he wanted to be doing. He knew how to play it and how to draft it. So we got to give that a shot too. And yeah, it did work out for him.
Turns out it worked. Also, you know, Gerard and Reed Duke, pretty close friends, and I hear Reed Duke is a big fan of Mind Rot, so maybe that's
God, you know, that is true.
right.
Interesting. I wonder if he poisoned his mind. That's interesting. That is cool. All right, Kenji,
Hey, that's me.
what have you been up to, man? How's the
busy,
stream?
busy,
How's
busy,
life?
man.
What's going on with New Matanami?
Man, I've been streaming just almost every day, and then when I'm not streaming, I'm playing Magic, because on the weekends they have like all these moxes, all these PTQs online. It's just, I'm on my computer a lot. Let's just put it that way, Mark.
Has it been good? Are you happy?
Yeah.
can go
No, it's been going real well. Just finished a 24-hour stream last week, I think it
I
was.
saw you tweeting about that.
Yeah, last Saturday or last Friday or something like that. And then we had completed consecutive 24-hour streams. Week to week.
I was going to say, we call that a 48-hour stream.
Yeah. Not too long before that, and we're actually already halfway to our next 24-hour stream goal.
So how does that work?
So I set like a number of subs that I want to get hit, and then at that number, once we reach that number, I will set a 24-hour date, and I will stream for 24 hours.
How does that work?
What do you mean? How does it work?
Well, so, like, you've got a bunch of subscribers now,
Sure.
and you're trying to hit, like, goals where you have more and more of them.
It's not an overall total goal. It's just a number that was set. It happens to be 151 to coincide with.
I know what that coincides
Yes,
with.
Bacardi 151 rum.
Right, your punishment of choice.
My liver killer.
Yeah, your liver killer. So you set like this arbitrary number, and then you're like, if I can get to this many, then the reward for everybody will be a 24-hour stream.
Just whenever we hit that number, it could be a month, it could be a year, then we'll go ahead and do that.
So what does it look like from, like, thinking about, like, I'm wondering what it's like to be you, like, to be a full-time Twitch streamer.
Sure.
You know, like, What is it like? Like, are you living the high life? Or are you just rolling around in a Lamborghini and just like wondering how your life got so awesome? Or is it like a little more low key than that? What's it like for you?
Well, there's an ongoing joke on the stream that after I finished my 1-year live stream challenge last year, I collected $5 million and bought my own island. And
I haven't been invited out to your island yet somehow.
No. But then I made the island look exactly like my living space, so that's why it doesn't look changed at all. Fortunately, I've spewed off all the 5 million now, and so
you're back to grinding the streaming.
Back to full-time streaming. No, it's excellent still. I mean, I can't complain. I had no thoughts of it getting this big when I started, and it's just continued to grow. Certainly the biggest Magic stream right now.
Oh, you're easily the biggest.
Yeah,
right?
it's just yeah. And then
what do you want?
now it's just about branching out. I've started posting a YouTube video every week at the bare minimum for people that can't catch the live stream now that Twitch mutes your stream if you play live music, and I like to play live music on mine. So
right. So actually, I want to hear about that. So there's copyright issues with with replaying music as like a recording, right?
yes.
But you can play it live, and that's okay.
You can play it live, absolutely.
Yeah, and so it means, though, that if people want to go back and watch your archives, there will be no sound?
Correct. Or there'll be certain parts that are muted and other parts that aren't.
Based on the song?
Based on the song, I don't know exactly what they're looking
so
for.
Is there, so was that a tough decision for you? Like, did you have to make a choice? Like, because having archives available it's valuable to your listeners, right? Or to your viewers, I mean.
It is. The first thing that was changed is that they started deleting your past broadcast.
Oh wow!
So it used to be that I could look back 3 years into my very first stream, you know. And now the latest or the oldest stream that I have is from October 27th, and that's going to be deleted in 2 days. It says here.
Wow!
But the thing is, the most views I would ever get on any of my just video playbacks is nowhere near relevant enough to where I would stop playing music for my enjoyment. And for a lot of people say that they get a lot of new music from my stream. Like currently, maybe 1,000 views on some of these past videos. But then I can just upload videos to YouTube and they'll get a couple thousand, and so I don't feel as bad.
Okay, well that makes sense.
Yeah, and the YouTube videos are a way for people that can't catch the live stream again to watch some more videos.
So more Newmont for everybody.
More Newmont for everybody, exactly. And then we just finished a T-shirt campaign for Blame Worth.
Oh, you did? I didn't know that.
That was pretty good. Worth himself said he ordered one, so looking forward to.
I want one of those. How did I miss this?
I can get you one.
You want to? Can I buy one?
It's too late for that campaign to buy them from the site that I was using, but I can continually make T-shirt campaigns now with Twitch, because Twitch and Teespring now have a partnership.
Oh, that's cool.
I contacted Twitch and they're like, "Oh yeah, we only allowed X number of streamers to do that. You know, the ones with like 500,000 followers or whatever." I'm like, "Well, if I can get on the next, batch of streamers," and like, "Okay, we'll do that." And then, so you can go to the Twitch store, and whenever I have a T-shirt there, it'll be sponsored by Twitch and Teespring. It's pretty sweet.
How does that work for you?
Teespring is so nice for producing T-shirts where the streamer doesn't have to do anything. All I have to do is
submit the design.
Exactly. Submit the design, submit the different colors, schemes, the different, patterns or whatever the different sizes, etc. And then they do everything. All you have to do is hit your goal. So if I set a goal of 5 T-shirts and at least 5 people buy that T-shirt, they will print them. They will do all the work. And then if, 4 people buy the T-shirt, then they will refund the money back to those people, and the T-shirts won't print.
God, that's really cool.
Yeah, so there's no back end work on my part. I just click, submit, see if it reaches its goal. If it does, they send me a check.
And so do you get money from this? Like, how does that part work?
Oh yeah, no, it's a nice chunk of change, depending on how many T-shirts. Yeah, so you can set different amounts for the T-shirt as well.
We'll be safe.
Like if if I set my T-shirt to sell at $50, I'd be making like $30-some for every T-shirt sold, right?
Right. It's kind of like a fundraisery type thing.
Yeah. But usually the T-shirts, most of them on Twitch are sold for around $20.
Yeah, that's a pretty standard T-shirt price.
And they're good quality. I've a few of them from Teespring already. I've got my punt T-shirt and my dealer.
Yeah, I've seen that shirt. I've seen you wear that shirt.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's I mean, I don't want to get too far ahead of myself, but I've actually been working on T-shirts for LR as well.
Yeah, no, and I think it's a great idea.
Yeah, not through them. Maybe I made a mistake with that. I like to, I like to have control on this stuff, to make sure that it's the way I want it and like it's all perfect and all that. But I've been working with a company in Colorado, and I'm actually getting I've actually already got a sample of the shirt. And then I made like a small change to it because I'm picky and stupid. And so, and every time you make a change, it costs you quite a bit of money, it turns out. But I figured this is going to be like the baseline LR T-shirt, so I might as well get it perfect. Yeah, and I did some detail stuff on it and everything. And anyway, but I'm waiting for the second. They call it a sample. The sample is basically it's like the prototype. It's like, this is what your shirt's going to look like. Yeah, if you sign off on this, you're going to have 1 billion of these things. So
does it come in like a 5-inch T-shirt design, or it's not full size yet?
Exactly. Yeah, and I mean, for me, like I said, I'm just picky, but the first one came back and the logo was just like a little small. I literally made it like, I think a quarter or a half an inch bigger. I think it's $400 or something to do that, but it's like I really want to get them right, And anyway, so I haven't actually talked about that on the show because I don't know. Are you like this too? Like I try to avoid talking about things that are happening but that haven't happened yet. Yes. Right? Like I don't want to go on the show and be like T-shirts because get this. The joys of owning a small business. Get this. I started this T-shirt process in May.
Oh God!
Now so part of it's on me, but like it is not fast. To have all this stuff done. Like it's always waiting, and the shipper, and the manufacturer, and the designer, and it's just like all this nonsense. And obviously, like this could have been done sooner. It's just like with my travel schedule, it makes it hard to keep up on it fully. But like I've been pretty diligent about it, and it's like I still don't have actual like printed T-shirts. Like I'm in the last stage. Sure. Like once a sample comes back, if it's good, I say, okay, we're good to go, do the print run, and then they're going. But then I have to still wait for the shirts to get printed. But it came up in conversation with you here, so I figured why not. But I figured, but generally speaking on the show, I don't. Yeah, it's just like, because you don't want to say something and then then it takes
6 months. Yes.
Do you do that too with your stuff?
Sometimes for the T-shirts, man. I saw the T-shirts from the other streamers offered on the Twitch store, and I'm like, how can I do this? So I contacted them. That must have been like December 5th, and then I emailed the guys. Were like, hey, I'd like to be in this next batch of streamers being able to do this, and then they were like, okay, done. Designs really quick for just hashtag Blameworth or whatever.
Yeah, because your shirt was really straightforward there.
Yeah, right? I put up the goal, I put up the design, whatever, and they are already being shipped. They will be here by the 30th, I think.
God, you're smart.
I think, yeah.
I
just got an email that says that they're shipping them out somewhere. So.
I'm so stupid picky. But like that's the thing is, so like the shirt has like here, I'll just spoil it. it's got the logo for LR on the front, but then like I did the thing where like the inside tag.
Okay.
Instead of being like a little tag, it's like printed on the inside, And it's like kind of fun and like, and I got like the good shirts, like the high quality ones or whatever. And like, yeah, whatever. We'll see. I hope that they come out nice. People have been asking for those shirts for a while, so I figure it's about time to do it. And, now that I've kind of got like a feel for the sleeves and the neck boxes thing, which also took an infinite amount of time, by the way. If you're interested in doing those, they are.
I remember talking to you about those.
Yeah, they're a headache. They really are. I mean, the good news is, like, after you get the design in and after you get everything done, then, like, it's kind of a matter of just having the money and just being like, I would like more of those, please. Mm-hmm. Because they're pretty expensive to get made. But you don't have to go through all the back and forth of like getting the design in. It's just a matter of like, you know, being ready to go with it.
Since you've already done all the pre-work or work before, yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, it's like that. But it's always something with this stuff, man. Do you feel like that? Do you ever feel just like, God, there's always something going on with this?
Yeah,
Over here.
I do, but it's I don't know. I enjoy it. It keeps me busy.
That's how I feel too. I feel the same. It's like, it's funny because I think that like, you know, like it's easy to look at like what you're doing and what I'm doing and stuff and just be like, well, you know, you get to do a podcast and, you know, you get to stream and whatever. But it's like, man, there's so much stuff behind it. Like it's amazing how much that stuff can creep up and just interfere with, you just want to do the show, you know? Like,
it's a lot of background work, and
yeah.
I'm lazy sometimes and I don't want to do it, so I'm just like, yeah, I'll just turn on the stream instead of doing something that might be more important.
You'll just work instead of working?
Yeah, well, one aspect of work as opposed to the other aspect, I suppose.
Yeah, I guess that's similar. So, what have you been drafting lately? I know that, you know, they brought back Modern Masters for a while. There's been like some different stuff on Magic Online. Have you just been all cons? What have you been doing?
Oh man, I've stayed away from cons for like the last month.
I figured you had.
Yeah, they've got.
Did they have Urzas for a while?
They have it right now. You better believe I've been grinding.
God,
that.
so I'm actually holding you back from an Urza's draft right now?
No, I got presents to wrap. I got things to do.
Okay.
Again, slacking on some other aspects of life.
Yeah, well, that's my fault though, and you have to apologize to whoever you're taking a little time. I'm not going to keep you for too long. That's the good news. But
Okay, I like to talk about Magic.
yeah, and I'm glad I'm glad that you had a little bit of time, because for those, we're recording on Christmas Eve. Kids, you know, you're just putting in a little work time. But I didn't want to miss the show. Like I don't know. It's funny because, you know, sometimes people say stuff like that, like, oh well, you should just take the day off or whatever. It's just like I like doing. You know, it's like I look forward to doing the show. It's not like I just don't want to do. The podcast is the part I love.
Even,
know,
even if
like,
you don't want to do it one day, you still want to do it, you know?
Yes, it's exactly right. And then once, and especially like, this has ever happened to you. I have this sometimes where you're kind of like, oh God, like I was going to do this other thing, but I can't because I got to do the show. But it's like, okay, let's go do the show. And then you're a little like grumpy about it. But then once you start, you're like, oh sweet, I get to do the show.
That happens like all the time. I wake up, I have some coffee, I'm like, oh God damn it, I got to friggin' stream right now. And then I start drafting, I'm like, oh yeah, man, this deck's going to be sweet. And then people start trickling in, and it's like, yeah.
Yeah, I'm the exact same. Holiday Cube.
Holiday Cube, man.
Have you been Holiday Cubing?
Oh, you don't even know. And it's powered, so you get all the, you get the Moxes, you get the Lotus, you get et cetera, et ceteras.
All right,
I've been
you
going
to give
for
us the big picture. How do you approach this Holiday Cube?
brown.
Just beating the hell out of people.
No, just brown. Just
Artifacts?
Artifacts. Like old school artifacts, man. The good artifacts where they're brown bordered or whatever instead of the
the
gray
grim monoliths and such.
Oh, the grim monolith, memory jars. You know the deal.
I do, but I want you to talk about the deal because there might be some people that don't.
Sure. Okay. So, signets are not unfortunately not the cool brown, but they are certainly very, very high picks in this cube. There are plenty of sources of colorless mana ramp that you want to be taking. Grim Monolith, Basalt Monolith, the Moxes, Soul Ring. God, forbid you get Soul Ring. The Signets, like I said before. Metalworker is my favorite creature.
That's your boy?
Oh, I don't know if you've played with Metalworker before, but...
Oh, you bet I have.
I had an earlier
card's
cube.
Insane.
I had an earlier cube where I think I went... It was like turn 1 Mishra's Workshop, which produces 3 colors that you can only add for artifacts. It was like into... Metalworker. Then the next turn I played Mana
You
Vault,
had a turn 1 Metalworker off of the workshop?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So turn 4, I revealed a bunch of artifacts, including Blightsteel Colossus and Lightning Greaves. Okay. I then played Ral Zarek because I was base red-blue, untapped the Metalworker, pulled a million more mana, Blightsteel, Lightning Greaves, Hasty 11 Infect You.
And just dead. Combo finish.
That's not even the best, though. The best and arguably the most fun / least fun is the Time Vault combo. Combos, I guess.
God, that card That combo, and there's actually quite a few combos now.
Yeah, there are like 5 or 6 cards that interact favorably.
Yeah, like off the top of my head, there's Voltaic Key, which is sort of the old standby.
Yep.
It's also the cheapest and easiest one to get going. But you mentioned Ralzeric. That does
Ralzeric,
it.
yep.
Yeah, there's Cura's Follower.
True. That's blue-green.
Yeah, blue-green. It's a little off the path there, but like you can do it
In a pinch, man. I splash for that all day.
Yeah, totally. And also, one interaction that Rashad showed me that was kind of sweet is Imperial Recruiters in the cube now.
Oh, that's right. So you can tutor up a 2 power guy.
Yeah, you can go get Cura's Follower. So that's like if you happen to be comboing. So what are the other untaps?
There's Tezzeret the Seeker.
Right,
5 mana
Tezzeret.
Tezzeret who can untap up to 2 artifacts.
Uh-huh.
And the nice thing with Tezzeret is that he can also tutor for an artifact the second you play him. So you can tutor for a Time Vault, and then the next turn just go off if you can.
And if they don't kill him or the vault, then they just lose.
And they just lose.
Is there any others?
Okay, this is the most roundabout way, and oh god, I'm gonna try to pull up the deck real quick. But off the top of my head,
This sounds exciting.
It is Deceiver Exarch plus Recurring Nightmare. It was so sick. I think I uploaded it to Twitter.
That's great.
But it, like, I had
That's hilarious.
I had 5 creatures in the deck, and I was only running the Deceiver Exarch and the Recurring Nightmare just so I could untap the Time Vault.
That is amazing with 5 creatures.
Do you know how long that takes to do?
Oh my
Every turn
god!
you have to do it.
And then you need a win condition at some point too.
Yeah,
Which is a very real thing, by the way, on Magic Online. Like taking it for infinite turns is great, but the decks I've been drafting, they have been very combo-y.
I'm Finty.
You know, I'm drafting like if you look at the deck, it just looks like a random pile of cards that kind of doesn't do much, and it's just like these storm cards and stuff. Like I did a video.
What?
I mentioned at the beginning, but I posted it to on the Patreon for the patrons, and because, well, spoiler alert, I lost in the first round, and so I wasn't going to use it for my regular video, but it was an incredible first round. But actually, was that even? No. This is a different video. So what I just said is true, but I was actually thinking of a different deck. But I do have a deck that is a video that's going up, and I won't spoil much of it, but I called it Stairway to Nowhere. It had all the stuff, all the goods, and not a whole lot of places to go with it. I mean, there were multiple turns where I think I could make 30 or 40 mana in a turn and just had nothing to do.
That's exactly what I've been doing too.
Yeah.
I've been taking all the ramp and all the non-win condition but sweet cards, and then I'm left with I have supreme board dominance on turn 3. I can produce 11 mana.
Yes.
I just keep drawing signets, draw cards, keep drawing. It's like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I do the same thing, man. I still haven't really figured out what the best type of win condition is in decks like that. I mean, I think a Storm Finish often makes sense because you can set up turns where you can cast. Like, because I've been valuing the draw 7s very highly. The draw 7s being the time spiral and time twister.
You're not easy to
and what's
Wheel
it
of
called?
Fortune, Memory
Wheel
Jar.
of Fortune, Jar, right? All of those things, and I've been valuing those very high. But I'll be honest, like
This was mine.
I'm still clean out. Like I've drafted these decks probably 10 or 12 times, and I'm still trying to figure out what the best balance is for actually winning the game. Like, where does this go? Because I'm feeling a lot more confident about being able to set up a deck that can get to that scenario. It's just a question of, well, where do we go there or after that? And that's still a little bit unclear to me, to be honest.
I think
I liked your idea with Blightsteel, but sometimes you don't get it.
Yeah, there are so many good win conditions in these types of decks. I think that maybe it's just better to prioritize them before maybe some of the other cards that you would generally take before them. Like, I'm looking at this last deck here, and I have 6 Signets, I have Soul Ring, I have Mox Jet, I have Mind Twist, right?
Oh, that's a good one.
But okay, let me count the ways I have to win the game. I'm splashing for Garruk, Apex Predator, a 7-mana Garruk.
Okay, big boy.
I have Tezzeret, Agent of Bolas, so I can siphon them out or produce 5/5s. And I have a Phyrexian Revoker.
Greetings to you.
to beat down with.
Yeah, and then the rest are like Duress, Repeal, Daze, Diabolic Edict, Grim Monolith, Pentad Prism, Winter Orb, all these things to ramp or deny them from doing something, but I don't actually have that many win cons.
So that's interesting, because like, what if your opponent is playing like heavy blue with a bunch of counters?
Then I lose.
You just lose, right?
I do have
Like,
a time
you can't
spiral in this deck,
protect-
so I can shuffle.
I see. So you can kind of work through a few of
But,
them. But
there are only basically 2 cards in this deck that can win the game.
God, see, that's what I keep finding myself.
Yeah, and that's you need a few more conditions, or you know, just more creatures in general, I suppose, because it has 3 creatures in it.
Right, and that's kind of what I found is that, like, but then it's weird because then I also have these decks that are along the same lines of what we've been saying, but I've got like Tinker, Time Vault, and Key or something.
There you go.
Right?
Well, sometimes
and
the
it's
opponents just scoop when you get the Time Vault out, even if you don't have any way to win.
God bless them too, because that can be quite difficult.
The first time I had the combo, I misclicked the trigger since it's a little bit awkward what it says on Magic Online, and I'm like, I click no, and it untaps my opponent, and it goes to his turn. I'm like, what just happened? And everybody in chat's yelling at me.
Oh no, that's brutal.
I've also
and of
lost
course,
a game
any
with
mistake
Mana
you
Crypt.
make are public. You lost a game with what?
Mana Crypt when I was going off with Time Vault.
Oh, really? Just
Yeah.
TikTok?
Yeah.
Oh, that's dangerous.
Yeah, because I couldn't find a win con in time. I was taking infinite turns, but I was losing 3 life, every other turn, thereabouts.
Yeah. I mean, 1.5. Yeah, you were losing 1.5 life per turn on average, and it does add up. Yeah, I've had some funny spots. I had one, because people like this cube. It's deep. It's really deep, right? I mean, there are I'm still finding interactions that I haven't played, and I've played the Holiday Cube since its inception. Since it came out in 2012 or something, and and I'm sure you have too. And I've played cubes in general a lot. Since I've been playing it. I mean, I'm pretty good at these type of things generally. And I'm still figuring out a lot of stuff about this particular cube, and it's funny because I know my opponents are too. I had one scenario where I played Time Vault, but didn't have any combos with it, because my opponent played Mesmeric Fiend and took away Ralzeric from my hand, and I was bummed, right? Because I was actually going to go turn 2, turn 4, and just win, but. So I'm pretty dead. I don't really have much going on, and so I start attacking him with my trinket mages and my whatever, and I'm getting his life total down a little bit. He's below 10 or something like that because he's kind of taking it because you know how it is when you play Mesmeric Fiends and stuff, they don't really interact in combat much, and even though they're slowing down your opponent, they're kind of slowing you down too, so he's not really able to finish me off. Yeah, well, he finally gets a nice board state where he's going to close out the game in a turn, right? And he's going to finish me off. And I'm me, I never concede, I don't scoop. And so I'm just attack with everything. And, I'm threatening to get him down to 4-3 or something.
Oh god, he bluffs at the Fiend, doesn't he?
And he's just I'll just chump with my Fiend. And I'm just
no.
oh. So I play it, and I put Ralzeric on the stack, and he's just sure, he just insta clicks OK or whatever, and then I activate it targeting the vault, and that trigger stays on the stack for 30 seconds. I get the full shatter pause where he's no, and then it untaps, and then I kind of wait for it, and I see in the chat he's just that was an incredibly stupid block. And I'm yes, it was. We will now go on to game 2. It was pretty sweet. I've actually been super impressed by Ralzeric.
Oh yeah, no, he's very good.
I hope not.
He just seems kind of busted in the cube because he just he can make mana off of so many different things.
There's so many good.
Manifold, all of it.
The Grim Monolith, like you said, Grim Monolith, Basalt Monolith, the things that don't naturally untap, but if you're untapping them for free, you get.
Yeah, it's insane. And then even just sometimes you're just here's my Gilded Lotus. Now it makes 6, right? Yeah. Which is just insane. And you can try to set up scenarios where you're locking out your opponent too. Have you played much Palancron?
Yes.
Is that a thing that you enjoy?
It takes a lot of time off the clock.
God, it sure does.
And the problem with this is, I had a sweet Brainstorm deck yesterday. And I was Palancron storming off with Heartbeat of Spring. I had no cards left in my library, but I had Yawgmoth's Bargain. I had drawn all my cards with Yawgmoth's Bargain. So I couldn't lose through decking. But I Brain Freeze my opponent, And I'm like, yeah, I got you. The brainstorm, the storm count is like 20. And Emrakul, Emrakul, Ulama, the Eldrazi. There are 3 Eldrazi. And then there's this and other things. And I'm like,
So that just colds you, right?
That just colds you. Unless you have, which I didn't have, like a memory jar or Wheel of Fortune, something that you can make them draw that card, hopefully, and then mill them out.
Now, but how does it work from there for you? Because now your brain freeze is gone, so that's your because you're not dead there, right? Like,
No, I'm not dead.
Library, and you're not getting decked.
I've got like a Palancron. They have 1,000,000 mana. I'm at, I can't do anything. I'm not drawing any more cards, and
so now you're on the Palancron beatdown plan.
Yeah. Hopefully that one creature gets there.
I mean, he gets there more often than I thought, just because you can't kill him.
I guess.
Like every time they go to kill. I mean, I've had people make those mistakes too, which I always thought was funny. Is like somebody tried to clone my Palancron. It was the only creature.
As we agreed.
That's not going to work how you want. I mean, you do set me back, but yeah. But the thing is, I have one of my new favorite
sword with a pitiful soul in exchange for
as of
mass
this
fit
because I've been
God.
drafting decks in
You've gotten the better of this bargain, mortal.
artifact-based decks. Tolarian Academy.
Now I have business to attend to. Run along.
Nice.
Perhaps I'll be looking for
I thought
you
Gaia's
again.
Cradle was good, and I do still think it's good, but Tolarian Academy.
I'm much more fan of Academy than Cradle, even though they're so similar.
I am too. It's just so much harder for your opponent to deal with 4 signets than it is to deal with 4 random creatures. They
Plus,
just have.
it looks a lot better to add 4 blue mana than 4 green.
It certainly does. Yeah, that's a good one too. All right, Kenji, what's next for you? Before I let you go, I want to kind of continue our discussion of your. I want to get Kenji updates. So what's next for you? We're heading into a new year.
I've just
You got any plans? What's up with Kenji? You going to be playing GPs?
I will be playing more GPs now. Yes. First one I think is the Team GP in January, end of January, I believe it is.
Yes, I will be doing coverage for that event. I was actually hoping to play in it with you,
as it were.
But as it turns out, I believe I'm going to be doing coverage there.
That's all right though. I will be down there. I will see you. Our team will crush. It will be.
You guys are going to do great.
Hopefully. We didn't do so well last time, but.
Right.
Then there's for sure Vegas. I want to say.
Yeah.
I want to make sure I'm going to the big ones. The Team GPs, the Modern Masters, that type of thing. I haven't scheduled anything else out yet, but I do plan to travel a lot more.
Limited only. I know you've been dabbling.
Yeah, I've been dabbling. I have some constructed decks online now. Legacy deck, stuff like that. Only planned for limited right now.
I think that's smart.
Yeah.
That said, you would be scary, man. Like, with how much you play and how much you can grind, like, think of it like this. Currently, you're grinding limited formats, right? Like 300 card combinations in all different colors and configurations. Now, imagine grinding just one deck the way that you grind a limited format. Like, you would know that deck so well. Like, really. Like, if all you're doing is playing like 2-mans and 8-mans and dailies with, the deck of your choice before a GP for like that week or whatever, I think you'd be scary, man. I mean, I know it's not that fun, like to just grind the same exact deck over and over and over and over and over.
That's the only problem.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like it either, but like I could see, like if you find a deck that you think is very good and suits you, to take a week or whatever it is and to get really good with the deck, maybe 2 weeks or however long it takes.
Mm-hmm.
And put it together for a GP run of like maybe 2 GPs. Let's say there's a GP 1 week and then 2 weeks later there's another one with the same format or whatever. They're both standard.
Sure.
And then just try to go. I mean, with the way that you can grind and I'm using this term loosely, but work ethic. But you know what I mean? Like you really do. You put in your reps and you're good at that and you have a system for it and and it's like, I don't know. Honestly, like, I don't want to push you away from the good guys here, but I do think that there's something to be said for you to put in a bunch of time on a constructed deck.
And I think that's a good idea too. Generally,
Not too
they say
much time.
Well, you know what I mean. Generally, they say what? If you're good at limited, you're probably pretty good at constructed.
Yeah,
But
I
maybe
mean,
not the
limited's a
other way
lot
around.
harder than constructed.
So
Like all the pros all say that. It's like it's much harder. I mean, the skill set's a little different, so there is some overlap that doesn't count. But for the most part, I don't know, man. I think it would be pretty sweet, and I think you'd be scary with the deck that you just knew every interaction and you just seen every scenario multiple times. Yeah, I mean I wouldn't want to play against you. I'll tell you that. And you're comfortable enough with all the baseline mechanics for Magic that you could start to concentrate on the more in-depth stuff almost immediately. You know,
I think the main thing would just be making sure I take my time. I play pretty fast on Moto.
You play super fast.
Okay, super fast is.
You do. I mean, I watch your stream. I've played against you in real life, and you play fast there too.
But in like a GP setting, I'm pretty methodical.
Oh yeah, that's true. And when we when I've done coverage of you at a GP, I'll just usually when I'm out of the booth, I'll just find you to see how you're doing. And you're right, you are much more methodical there.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's worth a shot.
I think so too. So you're gonna do GPs. What's up with the stream? Stream's just gonna keep chugging along.
For the most part, I think this is the Magic age where I need to start branching out. New horizons,
I like this. You got any ideas?
Nothing set in stone.
Okay, I've got some ideas that I'm not going to say on here, but I'll talk to you about after the show.
Okay, absolutely.
I got some ideas for you. I'm your biggest fan, and I want to see you succeed in the biggest way you can. So
I do appreciate that. Thank you.
I got some ideas.
All right, I'm looking forward to hearing those.
Kenji, I guess you're a superstar.
North Korean superstar.
North Korean.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to North Korea, man. I'm gonna be.
What? I can I downvote that?
Okay, fine.
That idea. I don't think I want you to go there. I'd rather have you stay here and be better. All right, Kenji. Why don't we wrap this thing up? I want to make sure that you get some time with your family and friends.
Sounds good.
I should probably go Christmas shopping, or I don't know.
Oh yeah,
No, I've done that, but I do need to wrap some stuff. And there's also, I'm not gonna lie, Kenji. There's cupcakes.
What?
Yeah,
what?
they're sitting right over there. My girlfriend made it this morning. Like I woke up to the smell of cupcakes in our condo. I'm like, oh my god! And they're just sort of sitting over there staring at me, and I can't.
All you told me was that she was wrapping presents. You didn't tell me there were cupcakes.
Yeah, the cupcakes happened first. They're on cooling racks. You know those things that hold them in the air, and they kind of. It's like I can see them. I can absolutely see them sitting on the counter from where I'm recording, and it's just killing me. So we're gonna wrap up the show, and like I said, let you get back. Before we do though, Kenji, where can people find you? I mean, I think that our listenership, viewership crossover is very high, right? Like there's a lot of LR listeners that watch your stream, but there might be a few out there that haven't had a chance to check it out. Where can they find you?
The main place they can find me is going to be on twitch.tv. That's going to be twitch.tv/Numat the Nummy. So
I'm going to put the link in the show notes too, just so you know.
Okay, sweet, thank you. And
so
then
people can just click on that. Yeah.
On Twitter, you can just find me at Numat the Nummy, NUMOTTHENUMMY. You can tell I've said that a few times.
I always give you hell for that name.
Yeah. And then on YouTube now, at Numat the Nummy. There's some really old YouTube videos. I started recording on YouTube before I did the
I remember
Twitch
that.
thing. Yeah.
I remember when you did that. We talked about that when you did it.
Yeah. So
yeah, that was a long time ago.
They're like 5-year-old Magic videos of M10 or something. I don't know.
That's awesome.
Whatever that was. But now there are updated Cube videos and
now,
KTK drafts.
Real quick though, are you doing these separate of your stream?
Yes, they are
like
completely separate.
These are not repurposed stream videos. These are like, hey, it's Numat the Nummy, we're drafting cons, like the kind of videos that I do.
Exactly. Yep.
Oh, great!
So these are for the people again that can't tune in live, or maybe, if the video gets muted, then people can watch these instead, and they're completely different.
And so that's new content from you.
Yes.
There. And that's YouTube. Your YouTube channel is also Numat the Nummy.
Correct.
That is the good news. Like, I can't get limitedresources.com because, some guy in Hong Kong has it and, won't give it up or whatever. But I have a feeling that you're not going to have that problem.
Not going to have too many Numat the Nummies.
No. Okay, well, that's great. Kenji, thanks a lot for taking the time on what's going to be a busy holiday day for you, I'm sure, to come hang out and chat. I thought we'd have a nice, relaxed kind of me and Kenji just, talking, conversating, that kind of thing show instead of some hard-hitting, technical show or whatever. I thought it would be fun for the holidays to just kind of kick back and relax with friends.
Always fun, Marshall.
If you guys want to find me, I'm Marshall_LR on Twitter. You can find everything related to the show at lrcast.com. I'm going to be doing a little bit of... I'm going to Vegas after this for my birthday with a girlfriend, and then there's GP Denver the following weekend with all types of great stuff. So it's going to be a really great year for LR. I wanted to take a minute, of course, to say thank you to all of the listeners as well for all the support that you've given me over the course of the year, both via the Patreon, but also just by sending me emails and tweets and stuff. It's one of those things where I feel very confident and very happy about the decisions that I've made with my career and where I'm at with doing the podcast, and you guys are the reason why. And I wanted to say happy holidays, and I hope that everybody enjoys their festivities as we wrap up what's been a great 2014 and look forward to an even better 2015. Guys, we'll see you next week.
Hail, my pro.
Ma'am? Hi there. Greetings. I will call.
Soldier! Of Cyril. The Empire will stand or fall by what we do here today. Will we let the Daedra do to Bruma what they did to Kavach? Will we let them burn our homes? We will let them kill our families? No, we make our stand here, today, for the whole of Cyrodiil. We must hold fast until the hero of Kavach can destroy their great gate. We must kill whatever comes out of that gate. Soldiers of Cyrodiil, do you stand with me?
Stand ready.
We did it. We won. Farewell. I have ever.
So, the cat's paw of the Septims arrives at last. Think you could take me unawares here of all places, in the paradise that I created? Look now upon my paradise. Gaia Alata in the old tongue, a vision of the past and the future. Behold the savage garden, where my disciples are tempered for a higher destiny, to rule over Tamriel Reborn. If you are truly the hero, lift.
You wear...
This
How little you understand. You cannot stop your Dagon. The Principality.
You made it.
Well done, champion. Your progress is swift and sure. Perhaps you will reach me after all.
Look out.
You think I mock you? Not at all. In your coming, I hear the footsteps of fate. You are the last defender of decadent Tamriel. I am the midwife of the mythic dawn, Tamriel Reborn. I welcome you, if you truly are the agent of fate. I tire of the self-styled heroes who set themselves in my path.
You cannot escape. You found. You made it. Not that I was.
How do you do?
Welcome to the Imperial.
I've been Martin Septim, on behalf of the Elder Council, I accept your claim to the Imperial
Chancellor
throne.
O'Connell!
We should arrange...
Chancellor O'Connell, the city is under attack. Oblivion gates have opened and Daedra are inside the walls. The guard is overwhelmed.
Courage, soldier. We have an emperor again. Your Highness, what are your orders? Shall the guard fall back to the palace?
No. If we let ourselves get besieged in the palace, we're doomed. We must get to the Temple of the One immediately.
As you command, sire. Guards, form up and protect the emperor. To the Temple of the One.
We're too low. I do what...
The amulet is shattered. Dagon is defeated. With the dragon's blood and the amulet of kings, we have sealed the gates of Oblivion forever. The last of the Septims passes now into history. I go gladly, for I know my sacrifice is not in vain. I take my place with my father and my father's fathers. The Third Age has ended, and a new age dawns. When the next Elder Scroll is written, you shall be its scribe. The shape of the future, the fate of the Empire. These things now belong to you.